September 11th, a day we'll never forget. Forever remembered with heavy hearts. Baseball played a role in our country's healing. And tonight, the Marlins salute those who serve and the heroes we lost. Baseball tonight in South Florida here in Fox Sports Florida. It's game one of this three-game series. The Washington Nationals still trying to hang in the race against the Marlins on Patriotic Day, September the 11th, 2001. We will never forget. Marlins fans, Nationals fans are coming in here to see if the Marlins can keep putting it to the Nationals, who come off a very rough series against the Mets. Hi, everybody. In for Rich Waltz, Craig Minervini with Tommy Hutton. Good to be with you here as we start this series off. Marlins and the Nationals. And for Miami, the guy they've been leaning on, especially with standing out in the lineup, Tommy, has been Martin Prado.
You know, watching Martin Prado all year has been a real treat for all of us, and he has gotten himself extremely hot, especially since he's gotten into that number 3 spot. Last 9 games for Martin, a .417 average, doubles, 10 RBIs, and some clutch base hits, some walk-off base hits. But Martin Prado in that 3 spot, hitting over .350. So he's been fun to watch offensively, and he's also been terrific defensively.
And how about his energy, too? He's a guy who he's the glue for the team, helps the young guys out, pats you on the back whether you're going good or bad.
He's one of the nicest guys to talk to around the batting cage about this game of baseball.
Well, you hear about Prado, and now when you see him every day, you know why teams love to have him on their ball club. Now, Jared Cozart back, pitched last week for the first time, actually earlier this week, for the first time in 2 months.
Yeah, you see the numbers. It took him a little bit. First inning, he was a little bit out of whack, but then put things together and threw the ball extremely well.
He'll face Gio Gonzalez, the Hialeah product. Faced the Marlins only one time this year. Was not a good outing. Most of the time, he has done well.
Here's what you think about. 6-3 in his career against Miami, but 1-3 with a 5 ERA here at Marlins Park.
All right, on Patriotic Day here and Patriotic Night at the ballpark, the color guard and the presentation, and the anthem singer is Officer Henry Guzman tonight here at Marlins Park.
And to the men and women who serve our country, as we honor a pledge made 14 years ago today, we shall not forget. Please join us as we observe a moment of silence. Thank you. And here to perform the Star-Spangled Banner for us this evening is Sergeant for the City of South Miami, Henry Guzman.
We will never forget. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight over ramparts we watched, we're so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the hope of the brave?
of this three-game series. Good matchup. The lefty Gio Gonzalez, the righty Jared Cozart. First pitch coming up next. Let's go places. By Vico Painting Contractors. For top quality work and excellent customer satisfaction, visit vicopainting.com. And by AutoNation, save on over 70,000 vehicles now. Visit us online at AutoNation.com. And welcome back, everybody. The Marlins coming onto the field. Craig in for Rich with Tommy Hutton. And here we go with the lineup for the Washington Nationals in this ballgame. Their offense has not been a problem, though injury-plagued this year. Jason Worth will lead it off. Bryce Harper could be on his way to an MVP year with a .336 clip. He leads the majors in slugging percentage. We're ready for the first pitch as Jared Cozart will toss it to Jason Worth. And we are underway. Pinch a penny bringing you that ball one.
I think, Craig, you want to see Jared Cozart settle down a little bit. He admitted he had some nerves his last start. Gave up that home run to Cespedes and then a double. Of course, then again, everybody has been giving up home runs to Yoenis Cespedes. But that's what he wants to do. Just settle down. After that first inning, I thought he threw the ball really well.
They got to be very happy. Pitched into the fifth, nearly got out of the fifth inning. Pitches outside. Fastball 95. Arm looked good. Cozart had a very strange issue with the inner ear disorder and missed 2 months. 3-0 pitch. That's over.
I think as we have gotten used to watching Jared Cozart, you're going to see mostly fastballs and curveballs, moving the fastball around.
And that is just low, so he walks the initial hitter here in Jason Worth. Let's take a look at the defense.
Let's see how things set up behind Jared Cozart, brought to you by BMW. The defense is Yelich, Ozuna, and Ichiro in the outfield. Martin Prado, Miguel Rojas starting once again at short. D. Gordon, Justin Bour over on the right side, and JT Real Muto is handling Jared Cozart.
Anthony Rendon has had an injury plague year, just like Worth and a lot of the big hitters for Washington. He takes a fastball 95 right over for strike one. Rendon hitting .265, just 4 homers though. less than 230 overall at bats, has taken a bite into those big numbers that he's put up in his early career so far.
There was a time that you'd pay a little more attention to Jason Worth at first base. You still have to give him a look, but no stolen bases this year. Injuries, getting up there in years, have taken away a little of that speed, but there was a time he'd give you 20 stolen bases a year.
He had a wrist injury, missed a bunch of games, had an AC joint issue right out of the gate, missed 6 games, but the wrist really cost him. That fastball 97, but up high, 1-2. Rendon coming off a 21 home run year, 473 slugging a year ago. Off speed pitch down to Prado. He's going to have to play it over to first as Worth goes to second.
Yeah, a little chopper like that. The only play for Martin Prado was the out at first base. So Worth gets himself into scoring position.
And a chuckler too with D. Gordon, which is always something you see the guys have a lot of fun talking to D as they hit second base. Here's Bryce Harper. He had a very newsy week for the Nationals, to say the least.
Yeah, just ask their fans. But not the ones who left early.
That one popped out of the glove, and Realmuto can't find it, so Worth will scamper over to third base. Well, on Monday he was upset that fans were leaving in the 7th inning. As you see this ball just get out of the glove there.
Well, almost looks like it went through the webbing. It's a pass ball. It's a tough pass ball in this situation. Infield will stay back, but all of a sudden Worth's at third with an MVP up there and Bryce Harper.
You see those great numbers. That's how you get all those RBIs. 85 of them for Bryce Harper. Now back to the screen. So Monday's 7th inning, fans are leaving. Mets taking game 1. He's upset. He comes out afterward and says so. Then he didn't get any hits in game 2, and the New York papers are going wild about his loud mouth and quiet bat. But then Tommy answered on Wednesday. He had a couple of homers and a double. And still not enough for Washington, swept by the Mets. That is outside. Fastball.
Yeah, he has 4 2-homer games this year. Now, one of those, he hit 3. That was in Washington against Tom Kohler.
At 9 multi-homer games in his career. So Kozar takes a look at Worth. That pitch is inside off speed, and the count is 3-1 now to Harper.
Yeah, it is not a disaster if you lose Bryce Harper here. The man on deck, Yunel Escobar, leads their club in hitting into double plays. He's hit into 20.
And the Marlins can turn him with the best of them, even with Rojas, who's a slick fielding shortstop. Gordon pulled way over, and Rojas virtually up the middle. And that fastball is outside, and he walks Harper.
It's been an amazing year for Bryce Harper, who, amazingly enough, is still just 22. That's his 110th walk of the year, and he struck out 113 times. So that's why the on-base percentage is near 370.
The best in Major League Baseball. His slugging leads Major League Baseball, and his average is 2nd in baseball and leads the National League. We'll keep a close eye on that this series, of course, with D. Gordon coming in 8 points shy of Harper. Here's Yunel Escobar in his 11th pro season, 9th in the big leagues. Fastball outside.
He missed one of those games, Craig, the other night. Had 103 temperature.
Harper with a short lead at first. Fastball is fouled into the seats down the right field line. Escobar had a very brief Marlins career, I would say. Tommy? It was all of.
He never wore the uniform.
A few days. Marlins got him in 2012. He was a fish for 16 days. And then they dealt him December 4th in the Derek Dietrich deal in 2012. Hit in the air to center. Ozuna coming in, and actually Gordon on the edge of the grass makes the easy catch, so everybody's got to hold up.
Well, that's a big out right there to get the pop fly and keep the runners right where they are. A good job by Jared Kozart.
Looked like he fooled him off the end of the bat. So let's see if he can wiggle out of it. Here's Ian Desmond. 17 homers on the year for Ian.
A much better second half of the season for Desmond than a first half.
'97 outside, 1-0. Well, you like the look of the arm so far for Kozart.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of getting consistency, getting his reps every 5 days out there on the mound, building up some arm strength.
There's the breaking ball outside.
Remember, he had just a few rehab starts, through just 34 and a third innings on rehab assignments.
You don't want to mess around with this Washington offense too much. And that fastball is low, 3-0. They have hit 151 homers, fifth in the league. That's only 16 less than the leader, Colorado. They're third in runs. Offense has not been the problem. They're in fact much better than last year. 3-0 pitch. Right there, 3-1.
You know, the walks are what were disturbing for Kozart, even in those rehab starts. In his 34-plus innings, 18 walks.
That's fouled away, so he has a full count. Give Harper a start over at first. Hopefully not a D. Gordon-like 3-2, 2-out start. Have you seen a start as good as D had in the last game?
No, but I got a funny story about that. I'm saving it until it comes up.
All right. The Marlins hope that'll be very soon. There goes Harper. Struck him out. Good job by Kozart. And the Marlins get out of this inning. A couple of guys on. No damage done. And we will see Mr. Gordon up. The Marlins back in the bottom of the first. Dan Jennings and the Fish tonight in the first game of this three-game series. Brought to you by JM Lexus. Gordon will lead it off. The LA Red Hot batting second. Martin Prado's been leading the way for the Fish last 16 games. Justin Bour, lefty on lefty matchup. Ichiro back in there as well, right field. Rojas in for Etch, and Cozart will do the pitching at bat ninth for Miami. Echeverria, some better news. He did test it today. Still bothered by the hamstring, but Dan Jennings does expect him to return.
Well, we've only seen Gio Gonzalez one time. That's this year. And we've seen Gio Gonzalez a lot over the years. Never had success here in this ballpark. Hopefully the Marlins will look at it that way, facing the left-hander.
Marlins would like to repeat what they did to him earlier in the year when they tagged him for 6 runs in 5 innings, beat him in the only meeting. But overall, he has had good numbers against Miami. 2-0 pitch. Up the middle, that's a base hit for D. Gordon. So D draws first blood on the batting race here as we look in on it with Bryce Harper and Gordon. Harper walked, D. Gordon got a base hit.
Came into the game 343 against lefties. Here's the defense for the Nationals tonight. Jason Worth, Michael Taylor, and there's Bryce Harper in right field. Escobar, Desmond, Rendon, and Tyler Moore around the infield. Wilson Ramos does the catch.
173rd hit for D. Gordon on the year. Leads the major leagues in hits. Can he get to 200? Is that asking too much? He's got a shot. He's certainly over the pace. You think he could do it?
Well, here's an interesting thought. I mean, we talk about D in that batting race. You saw Harper walk. D. Gordon needs to get hits. The good news, yeah, I think he can, because the way he approaches his at-bats, he's going to get 5 at-bats a game. So he's going to have a lot of opportunities.
In that top spot in the lineup, sometimes gets you an extra at-bat. 2-0 on Yelich. Both pitchers falling behind, but that grounder is right to Rendon. Desmond. That's an easy 4-6-3 double play.
Pretty routine on this chopper with Escobar shaded toward the bag a little. Big high hop. Nice feed to Desmond. So I'm talking to Martin Prado around the batting cage, and D. Gordon's there. And we're talking about, I said, Martin, you ever drive a guy in from first base with a single? And Martin didn't think too long. He said, yeah, Michael Bourne one year when they were with the Braves. So D. Gordon said, see, it's not that big a deal.
Yes, it is. And everybody played it. It's an exciting play. Especially with the buildup, because you saw it coming with that tremendous jump that he got. 1-1 to Prado.
That's almost as exciting as the inside the park home runs of Real Muto and D. Gordon.
There's D. Average went up 2 points. Sometimes you get year 328, it might be 328.4, and one hit can raise you 2 points, even this deep in the season. Most of the time, that is not the case. Here's the 3-1. And that misses, as you heard, the home plate umpire, Ron Culpa. Outside ball 4, so Prado was aboard. Let's take a look at Gio Gonzalez. Tommy scouting report.
All right, what's the left-hander give the Marlin hitters? He varies that curveball. He'll throw it a little harder sometimes. Got kind of a long arm delivery. He'll throw that changeup to lefties and righties. And right now, Gio is 29 years old, but on September 19th, he'll turn 30. That's an extra added part of the scouting report. That was number 4.
It was a bonus.
Yeah, that was bonus.
No extra charge, we don't think. Justin Bour. Dan Jennings said the other day, wants to see Justin against lefties. This is a good time to do it. Did he swing? No swing. 1-1.
I think
hanging in there.
Yeah, I think you're right too, Craig. I think it's an opportunity with Bour in the lineup tonight. Don't know how many more left-handers he'll have a chance to see, but you would imagine he'll start to feel a little more comfortable with each lefty he sees.
I asked hitting coach Frank Menachino today about facing the lefty. He said, hey, just don't try to do too much. He's adjusting. He's doing better. And that was his message to Justin Bour. Took something off it and strikes him out. And that ends the inning. So big strikeouts for both pitchers to end the first innings. Gonzalez and Cozart will move to the second. Zip, zip, Marlins Park.
West Kendall Toyota.
A little Friday night baseball. Marlins going for their fourth series win in a row as they swept the Braves on the road, came back home here, got off to a nice 2-1 series win over the Mets, followed it up with the Brew Crew, and now the Nats. And Wilson Ramos will lead it off here in the second.
Yeah, I think the Marlins over the last week to 10 days have settled in. They're playing good defense. They're obviously getting some great clutch hitting, with the Marlins 6-2 here in the month of September.
Foul back. And it's important for Miami. You look at the record. No, they're not in the playoff race, although they will play meaningful games here over the next 10. But Tommy, we're finding out answers, questions. When you look at players getting an opportunity, even Cozart here is this a big month for him to see what you have going into next year.
I think it's a big month for a guy like Jared Cozart. I think for some of the young guys in the bullpen that we've seen, Bearclaw and Ellington, I think it's an important few starts, hopefully 4, that we'll see from Jose Fernandez.
Up the middle, and that's going to get through for a single base hit for Wilson Ramos. First hit of the game for the Nationals. Marlins Park offers a variety of suites located behind home plate and along the first base line that could be rented for just one game. Suites accommodate groups from 16 to 70 guests, offering upscale contemporary furnishings and featuring great food and beverage options. Call 1-877-MARLINS or go to marlins.com. Groups. So leadoff runner on again for the Nats. Michael Taylor takes a swing and a miss.
Oh, you see Michael Taylor talking to friends and family before batting practice. Local kid has had a really, really nice year out of Westminster Academy in Fort Lauderdale.
And sure some bunt there. Got Prado to run in. You know, with Denard Span, we talk about the Washington injuries with him out for much of the season. Taylor's gotten a great chance to show how good he is. They loved him in the minor leagues. A great defensive outfielder as well. Has power. Great arm. The question is, could he be in the mix going forward for them?
I think he's answered a question for them without a doubt. Matt Williams, if he's back as manager of the Nationals, they'll be happy to have Michael Taylor in center field.
Taylor was the Eastern League top prospect a year ago. Hit .313 there with 22 homers. And up here, no disappointment with the 14 homers. Hitting .243.
So you got a couple of young guys. You know, I'm going to the barber tomorrow.
Yes.
Greg, I think I may say, give me a Bryce Harper.
Do you have enough up top?
No, I don't.
To pull it. It's a good head of hair. 2-2.
That's MVP hair, too.
MVP bubble. But frustrating times, no doubt, for the Nationals. That one is foul. The Nats have lost, Tommy, if you look at it, their last 6 to the Mets. They were in first place the end of July. In fact, when they beat, you recall the game Scherzer pitched here, it was a 1-0 win. July 30th, they had a 3-game lead. They went to play the Mets. They lost those 3, and they've been looking up ever since. And then they just swept again. Nice pitch there by Jared Kozart. 81 mile an hour off-speed pitch for his second strikeout.
The Nationals, here's the difference in the Nationals and the Mets all year. The Mets have gone 40-20 against the National League East. The Nationals have gone 33-24. So there's a big difference right there.
The Toyota trend, no team trailing by 7 or more games on September 11th has won their division or the league. Driving to center, Ozuna backs up a few steps. Well hit, but caught.
This was the inning in his last start against the Mets where Jared Kozart really started to find that curveball. He threw a good one to strike out Taylor and then started to settle in. So he's made a couple of good pitches to get 2 outs after that leadoff single.
Looking at the scouting report, they call that curve, Tommy, the 11-5 curve. Not quite 12-6, quarter after 10, something like that. Gio Gonzalez takes a strike.
Just thinking if he threw it from the side, he could call it the Dolly Parton curveball, the 9-5.
9-5. That would be a tough one to handle. It's good to see a lot of local Florida products in this game, including Ian Desmond. He's from the West Coast over in Sarasota, and Gio Gonzalez from Hialeah. Got to enjoy this opportunity. Down the right field line, Ichiro giving it a look and climbing, but it goes into the stands. You know, the Marlins had a nice off day yesterday. Had a chance to relax. Tommy, I know you had a chance to hit the links. What did Ichiro do on his off day?
Ichiro probably, as he's done on every off day, I think this year, came to the ballpark.
Yeah, I was talking to Alan Turner, his interpreter, right-hand man, and that's exactly what he did. He came to the ballpark for 3 hours. Fastball up high, a little work on the machines. He hit, he threw. And that's why he still looks like that and is playing productively at the age of 41. Two-two pitch. Chop foul. There's Max Scherzer.
Marlins will see him on Sunday.
And off the end of the bat, Rojas easy force out at second. No runs a hit for the Nats at the top of the second.
Them, we wouldn't be able to do this on a daily basis. I've said that year in and year out. A bad day for us is on a baseball field. A bad day for them is completely different. Something that we, as Americans and citizens, can't comprehend, can't understand what they have to go through day in and day out for us just to live a normal life. And I just want to say thank you.
14 years later on 9/11 Remembrance Day. For more, let's go down to our Jessica Blaylock. Jess?
Hey, Craig, well, it is patriotic night at the ballpark. It is September 11th. Because of that, the Marlins wanted to show their support for first responders and local law enforcement officials. They reached out to about a dozen agencies and requested hats, and the agencies came through. The fire department, the police department, even the FBI. Each player had a hat waiting for them in their locker in the clubhouse earlier today, and as you can see, they were able to wear it during batting practice. So, guys, a really nice touch by the Marlins to show their support on Patriots Day.
Yeah, good stuff, Jess. That was fun to watch today during batting practice and see all the different hats that the guys had.
And they wore them with a lot of pride, as they should, as Marcell Ozuna fouls one back to the screen to start off the second inning. Marlins got a single, then Yelich into a double play in the first inning, then a walk and a strikeout to Bohr. Nance had a couple on, first and third threat with one out in the first. Cozart did a nice job working around that jam.
Ozuna has done a real nice job this year against left-handers. 342 against lefties.
Gonzalez trying to stay away from that big bat. Since his return in mid-August, he's hitting .267. 4 homers, 9 doubles in the 23 games.
You'd like to, that's a good example on the splits there. You'd like to see the .232 a little better against right-handers.
High pop-up, very short right field. Rendon one away.
Yeah, over the years, watching Gio Gonzalez, he's had a really nice career. He's won 90 games. He gets ready to work to JT Real Muto. And with his 10th win this year, Gio made it 6 consecutive years, 10 wins or more.
Two-time All-Star. One stat that stuck out when I was looking at his numbers, he had a career mark of .232 average against coming in, and this year they're hitting .276 off of Gonzalez, more hits than innings pitched. JT takes it 1-0. That's hammered back to the screen. Hey, good Patriots there, Marlin fans. It's like some chicken tenders. That pitch just missed. 2 balls and a strike to Real Muto, batting 6th in the order. Ichiro on deck. Gio in his 4th year with Washington. Turns 30 next Saturday.
There's that good changeup. Yeah, he's been pretty durable. 4 times in his career, 30 or more starts. Always love to see the shot of Ichiro when we're talking about durability, too.
He's amazing. And that is over 92 miles an hour. Surprising. Ramuto shakes his head at the call from Ron Culpa. Go behind the scenes on social media with Fox Sports Florida and your favorite Marlins broadcast team all season long on Instagram and Twitter at Fox Marlins. Just like those folks are doing. Here he is, Ichiro.
I'm sure tonight Dan Jennings had the decision. Ichiro or maybe Cole Gillespie with the left-hander out there, but Ichiro 13 for 36. He's had pretty good numbers in his career against Gio Gonzalez.
Takes that fastball, good pitch right on the corner for a strike. Well, this year he's hitting .299 against left-handers. Just the opposite of the situation with Ozuna, for example.
Sure, there are not too many lineups that Gio Gonzalez pitches against that have 3 left-handers in the lineup. But with D. Gordon and Yelich and Ichiro, he faces lefties.
H hitting .226 against righties. Takes that pitch, 3-1. Ichiro needs, he's got 23 hits against lefties as he pops that up to center. He'd love to get within 50, maybe the 3,000 mark, but he pops it up to center. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Gio Gonzalez and the Nats.
A couple teachers came like walking into class, and they were kind of like whispering to each other, and then I kind of overheard one of them what they were saying, and you know, that's just something I'm not ever going to forget, being there at that moment, and then going home and, you know, kind of talking to my parents exactly what had happened. So
Justin Bohr remembering where he was, where we all remember, wherever you were, 9/11, 2001. Baseball season stopped for, I think it was a week before resuming. Jack Buck. Should we be here? Yes. Great moment. 77-year-old Jack Buck in St. Louis. Worth rips one into right center. Ozuna and Ichiro converge, and Ozuna makes the catch.
I think that's why baseball has become such a focal point of remembering 9/11, because it really brought everything together.
Yeah.
Once baseball and play was resumed. Even if you were not a Yankee fan, I think people watched that first game and watched President Bush throw out the first pitch.
Strike to Rendon. Jack Buck read a poem at the game in St. Louis 6 days after the terrorist attacks about America's convictions and connections.
He wrote that poem himself.
That was amazing. On the PA, the great legendary Cardinals announcer was battling lung cancer at the time and died less than a year later. About America's ability to give to those in need, defeat those who strike. Then he asked that question. He said, the question has already been answered. Should we be here? Yes. And baseball did play a major role for all of us. One-two pitch up high. Matt Williams was talking about it today. He was with Arizona, obviously playing for the Diamondbacks, and they got to the World Series against the Yankees. Probably a little more than a month after that tragic incidents.
Well, and the Yankees and the Mets did so much for the city of New York, too.
Matt was saying it was strange because here's our small market Arizona team, and everything flipped. We were the evil empire, he said today. Everybody wanted the Yankees to win. That pitch is just inside. They'll go full here on Rendon. They took a team trip to ground zero. And what Matt Williams was saying, baseball is a lot of fun and important, but it's just a game.
Of course, Matt's teammate on that 0-1 Diamondback ball club, Greg Counsell, just left town.
That's right. Not to mention Luis Gonzalez. Payoff pitch, grounder. Prado ranging nicely and makes it look so easy for the second out here in the third inning. Hey, Marlins fans, from now until September 21st, every Friday will be Flashback Marlins Day, brought to you by Jeep. Submit the best vintage photo of yourself. Use the hashtag FlashbackMarlins. We'll select the best photo and feature it on tonight's post-game show with Jess and Mr. Conine. Rich Waltz back with us on Sunday on assignment. Happy to be next to Tommy Hutton here for a couple as Bryce Harper stands in.
We'll try to take care of you a couple of nights, Greg.
There's a good fastball. 94 miles an hour to Bryce Harper. Is there any doubt for him in MVP? I know people have thrown this crazy thought Cespedes in a month and a half is going to win an MVP.
Yeah, that's absolutely ridiculous. I don't think so. I mean,
win or lose,
you have players such as Anthony Rizzo and Paul Goldschmidt,
right?
Nolan Arenado, but Harper's been consistent in a year where many of his teammates, the other offensive guys, have not been.
That's true. He has continued to put the numbers up. A terrible loss for the Nats to lose Ryan Zimmerman again, just as he was finally returning, dealing with that foot. And then on the third at bat against the Mets, a left oblique on Monday, and he was red hot too. He always seems to get hot as Harper rips one deep to right field, but foul.
If Rendon had stayed healthy, Ryan Zimmerman, Jason Worth,
Span,
so
those are big names.
So this young guy has carried them all year.
And yet their hitting has been, you looked at the numbers, you talked to the national people, they'll point to starting pitching being inconsistent, which is shocking to hear. Obviously they've had some bullpen issues more in the bridge. And right there, another good pitch, a strikeout to Bryce Harper to end the frame. So the first 1-2-3 inning for Jared Kozar. scored yet. Each team with a hit. Single for D. Gordon. And a base hit for Wilson Ramos so far, as we look at Miguel Rojas in there for Adeiny Echeverria. Continues to be bothered by the hamstring. And he leads it off and takes a strike.
I think the good news on Etch is that he was taking some ground balls today, doing a few things that he hadn't been able to do. So that was good to see.
Yeah. Drive in the air to center. Michael Taylor goes over there, makes the catch. Well, fans, get out to Marlins Park for the Saturday Spectacular tomorrow. The Marlins will host the Nationals at 7:10. You can secure your seats for the final Clevelander Beer Fest of the season and enjoy 3 hours of beer sampling, or pick up all you can eat seats, just $35. Go to marlins.com and secure your seats today. And Tommy, on top of all that, a great bonus for the fans, because the man pitching tomorrow is
Jose Fernandez.
Oh, it's going to be fun to see.
I know he's excited about it.
Yeah. The big question is he going to use the blue glove?
Well, the other thing too, I hope people don't expect him to go 7 shutout innings. He's not going to do that. He's probably going to go 5. Really depends on pitch count.
Yeah.
Hopefully he will go 5 shutout innings, but you don't know, because he hasn't pitched in major league competition for a while. He threw a sim game the other day.
Yep.
That's not at all the same.
He did get Frank Menachino out a couple of times. Marlins hitting coach is Cozart. Hits a routine fly to Bryce Harper for the second out. That's the 3rd in the air in a row for Gio. But Jose did ask the fans, as you look at Menachino, did work a nice walk in the sim game against Jose, and celebrated as if he had the walk-off walk.
That was tough for Jose, because he's such a competitive guy. To get the juices flowing, to get competitive in a sim game when you're facing one of your coaches, it's tough to do.
Well, Dan Jennings said he saw Frank Menachino doing all the loosen-up routines in the clubhouse, and then he walked by 5 minutes later, and he was 30 feet away from the fast machine. What is going on? He had to move closer to face Iron Mike, they call him, so he could see the fastball, because Jose was not throwing at 3/4 speed. He was giving it his all, as you might expect, even in a sim game. 2-1 to D. Gordon. That's fouled back. Gonzalez struck out a season-high 10, snapping a 3-game skid last time out. That was a 6-inning, 2-hit, no-run performance against Atlanta in a 5-2 Nationals win.
Out of Monsignor Pace, transferred to Hialeah High School.
Chopper to second, Rendon. And another 1, 2, 3. That's 7 in a row now for Gio Gonzalez. Both pitchers getting a nice rhythm here. We move to the middle innings. September the 11th. And in the offseason, Marlins got a chance. Jeff Conine, David Sampson, Preston Wilson, Beth McConnell from The Office with the Golden Knights. Marlins always very active, making, I think, up to now 5 trips overseas to visit the military. Nice landing. Conine had a problem because the guy he was working with had very short legs. Usually you let the expert hit the ground first. Tommy, ever want to jump out of an airplane?
I've not had that desire yet.
Down the right field line. Sliding is D. Gordon. Look out over there.
But certainly have a lot of respect for the men and women who do that.
I believe it was Jeff's daughter, Sierra, who always wanted to do that. And a couple of calls, and the Marlins were able to go out. We filmed it, obviously. Did a nice feature on it during the season. Yeah, I'll pass on that one as well. I have a nephew who has one of those, I think they call him an air suit. So he's allowed to open up the parachute even later. It's some kind of...
Sounds a little too exciting.
Wingsuit. Got the name of it. In the hole and just under the glove. Maybe even skipped off the hand of Rojas, the glove, and Escobar gets a single. Nats get their second hit of the ball game.
Again, another guy who is having a solid year, Yunel Escobar, but has spent time on the disabled list a couple times, but gets that base hit past Miguel Rojas. Escobar kept his average over 300 most of the year.
Solid 320 coming in. That'll bring on Ian Desmond. Right back our way. Well, it's been much publicized. Desmond turned down a deal, I think it was over $100 million, multi-year deal prior to the season. And now he's in a spot where he's still going to get a nice deal, but it may not be those numbers. And over to Prado, to D. Gordon for one on the first double play. 5-4-3. Marlins turn it again. One of the best double play teams in terms of numbers in Major League Baseball.
I always like to say it starts with the pitch, because you have to make a pitch to get the guy to roll over. Desmond rolls over. Here comes the ground ball. As much as we love to see double plays turn, and I do, a pitcher really has to turn around and just admire 2 quick outs just like that. The Marlins have done a terrific job in that all year.
There you see, Prado has started the second most in the league. The Marlins have 142. That's 5th in the National League. The Nationals have the least amount of double plays, because they do get a lot of strikeouts, so you know, maybe some fewer runners, but 100 double plays. That's a big difference. 1-0 to Wilson Ramos, who singled his first time up. He rips that curveball to left field. That's going to drop in front of Yelich for the base hit. 2 for 2 for Wilson Ramos. Look at the box score for the Nats. Number 7 hitter Michael Taylor jumps in there. A step or 2 behind Ramos at first. Fastball is away, 1-0. Taylor, the Nationals' 6th round draft pick in 2009. Did not make his major league debut until August of last year. Fastball, good one on the corner.
It's a pretty good draft pick in the 6th round.
Yeah.
To get a guy with the athletic ability of Michael Taylor.
He's probably considered a 5-tool player when you look at what he's done as a professional. Hasn't had a chance to show all of that yet at the major league level, but as we mentioned, hit over 300, way over 300 last year, and virtually skipped over Syracuse. Played just 12 games at AAA.
Guy like JT Real Muto. JT only 3 games in AAA.
And he played in over 500 in the minor leagues. That is outside. I always try to work Syracuse in because it has a special spot.
I got that subliminal comment.
Except when I did the Chiefs games, when I was back there, way back when, they were called the Chiefs. Now I think they're called the Sky Chiefs. They were the Blue Jays AAA team. Swing and a miss. And a strikeout. That's number 4. A good fastball for Jared Kozar. So he allows 2 hits, but no damage. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th.
For Tom Kohler earlier today, he got to share that with his father, Rolf Kohler, who was able to fly down from New York and surprise Tom. Tom was on the field. He thought he was just going to do a PSA, and then all of a sudden, surprise, here I am. A wonderful moment between Tom and his dad, Rolf, who I am joined by now to talk about that moment. Boy, just how incredible to see the emotion, to see the response from Tom. We'll get to that in just one second. But for those who don't know, give us a little bit of background on why 9/11 is so significant for your family.
Well, I mean, on that day, you know, I was a sergeant in the police department, and I got mobilized when the second tower got hit. And I was one phone call to my wife going down, and then they didn't hear from me for like 15 hours. And my son was in high school. Kids in his class were getting pulled out. My daughter was in middle school, got pulled out of school, and it was just like they were glued to the TV, not knowing what was happening with me.
We just saw the moment that you had earlier today to share with Tom, able to fly down from New York and surprise him. How would you describe that moment?
Well, for me, it's very emotional. I mean, Tommy and I, if you know anything about Tommy, he's very, solid, stoic. And getting a man hug, it was pretty good.
And you told me earlier today, Tom is not the easiest person to surprise, and you're not very good at keeping secrets. How much work went into pulling that off?
Okay, the funny thing is, the Marlins did a great job. They started doing this about 3 weeks ago, and I talked to Tom like almost every other day we talk, and Tommy always tries to figure everything out. So this afternoon, he called me, and I was like, oh, I'm at work, and I was already en route down here, and it worked out perfectly. It really, everything they do and remembering this day is very important.
I talked to Tom earlier today. He's obviously so proud of you and the way that you've served our country. How proud are you of him and what he has achieved in Major League Baseball?
Listen, knowing him, if you know him from a kid, this is a guy you could never tell, no, you can't do it. And he's a product of that.
Thank you so much for allowing us to share in this day with you. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed it.
Guys, back to you.
All right, great job, Jessica, with Ralph Kohler, a first responder on 9/11.
It's always fun to see Ralph around. We see him all the time in New York at Citi Field.
He arrived at ground zero just as plane number 2 struck the World Trade Center. Wow. Nice emotional moment there.
Totally unexpected.
That pitch is outside, and Martin Prado works a nice walk, his second walk of the game, after Yelich had that soft ground out to third base. So the Marlins have a base runner for Justin Bour. Tomorrow, we'll have our Marlins Live pregame show brought to you by South Florida Honda dealers. Jess and Jeff Conine will look at the return of Jose Fernandez. Preview also of Game 2 coming up tomorrow. These are big games for the Nats. It looks like the Mets are not going to lose again. I mean, it's unbelievable. And the Nats still have 3 games against the Mets, but to make them important, they're going to have to pick up at least 4.5 over the next 19
All
games,
the Mets have
games.
to do, though, to stay focused is just think about 2007.
Right.
When the Phillies caught them. And the Marlins had a part in that.
Big part.
I was reading an article today. Mets had a 7-game lead with 17 to go. They proceeded to go 5-12. And the Phillies went 13-4.
Swing and a miss, 1-2. Jeff Conine was on that New York ball club for his short stint in New York. And we were there for the last, well, that was miserable for our Met fans. The last 2 years of Shea Stadium, the Marlins closed out.
Yeah, that was the year, and Jeff Conine will remember, that was the year the Marlins scored 7 runs in the top of the first off Tom Glavine.
Yeah. Dontrell Willis on the mound. Mets had some, I forgot what it was, some kind of poster line that I think the Marlins put on the bulletin board. Something trying to rev up the Mets, but it wound up getting the Marlins going, who really enjoyed that spoiler roll. The ultimate spoiler roll is to knock the team out on their turf in the last games of the season.
Yeah, and that's why I think this next 10-day period is going to be a fun period. The Marlins have that opportunity. 3-game series here against Washington, then 3 in New York, and then 4 in Washington.
Prado a short lead. Bour, base hit. Bour could not get over there, and Prado will go over to third base. Tyler Moore is their third option over at first. Ryan Zimmerman out. Clint Robinson is on paternity leave. So Moore got the shot, and it went right by him. Base hit.
You love to have that option when you're a left-handed bat and there's a runner at first. Nice hole over there. And he takes a breaking ball from Gio Gonzalez and is able to get it past him. He hit that ball hard. And because it got past, Prado was able to go first to third. And the Marlins looking really good right now, first and third with 1 down.
And a nice base hit off the lefty for Justin Bour. Here's Marcell Ozuna. Soft grounder to shortstop. They're going to try and turn it, and they're not going to be able to. And the Marlins get the first run of the game. RBI for Marcell Ozuna. 1-0 Miami.
As soon as he hit that ball, you knew it wasn't hard enough for the Nationals to turn 2. Sounded like he broke his bat as well. So on that fielder's choice, Marlins get a run. Marcell picks up an RBI.
His 36th of the season, 10th in the 24 games since his return from New Orleans. Good piece of hitting by Bour and Ozuna to put the ball in play. Here's JT, struck out in the second inning. That's on the corner. Fastball, strike one. That's a tough team to swipe a base against. They've allowed the second least steals in the National League, 46. St. Louis allowed only 41, and they've caught 26. There's only just a couple of steals this year.
Looking at some other scores, Toronto has jumped on the young right-hander for the Yankees, Luis Severino, 6-0 in the third inning. And keep in mind the Blue Jays have David Price pitching for them tonight. Josh Donaldson with his 38th home run.
Wow. Jays used to really struggle going into Yankee Stadium. And swing and a miss. That's a strikeout. And that'll end the frame. But the Marlins do get a run and get on the board on the infield grounder by Marcell Ozuna. 1-0 Miami. We go to the fifth. Brought to you by your local Chevy dealers. Visit your South Florida Chevy dealers today. By Checkers, Epic Meals, Epic Deals. And by the Florida Department of Transportation, reminding you to drive sober or get pulled over. And welcome back, everybody, here on Fox Sports Florida. The Marlins and the Nationals move to the fifth inning. Nats have lost 3 in a row. They had won 5 straight. Ran into that Met buzzsaw earlier in the week. Marlins playing much better. They've won 7 of 9. In fact, one of the hotter teams around Major League Baseball. 16 of 29. Trying to finish off on a good note, at least, as Tyler Moore leads it off for Washington here in the top of the fifth. Oh, nice curve for the strike. There's the last 3 for the Fish, Tommy.
Yeah, they've played well. We talked about it. They've got clutch base hits. They've played tremendous defense. The starters have done well. Tom Kohler the other night was just outstanding. Bullpen has been solid. So you put all those things together, that's how you put together a little streak.
And yes, they swept the Braves, but they played the Mets and beat them, and nobody is winning series from New York these days. And then played the Brewers after losing the first game of the series, came back to win the final 2, and can make it a winning homestand if they can win this series as well. In fact, even if they can win a game, it's a winning homestand. But the Marlins would like to at least win this series. Here's Jason Worth. He'll bat third in this inning. Moore was drafted as a first baseman. No opportunity with LaRoche and company here over the years. He's been working in the outfield. Hits one to left field. 2 steps back is Christian Yelich.
Yeah, he's a little more comfortable over at first base. Remember, last time out for Jared Cozart, 4 2/3 in his start against the Mets. Threw 88 pitches, had 1 strikeout, has 4 strikeouts tonight, and the pitch count's still at 72, so much more efficient tonight.
A little stressful in the first, but since then done a very nice job. Got a big double play in the fourth as Gio Gonzalez stands in. Takes that fastball for a strike. .92 miles an hour usually is the 2-seam. There was a story that he likes to call it a 1-seam. Have a little more downward motion on his breaking fastball or sinker. 2-2, but mostly it's heat for Jared Cozart.
Yeah, you know, he has that Texas look out there too. That's where he's from. Went to high school, Clear Creek High School in League City, Texas. But he kind of has that presence out on the mound.
Yeah.
6'3", about 200.
He has a little look tonight, like we saw last year when the Marlins got him from Houston, and he pitched very well. Missed though on that 3-2. Like to have that one back as he walks the pitcher.
And that's kind of a no-no. Certainly he didn't want to do that. Chuck Hernandez didn't want to see him do that. Just adds on a few more pitches.
Yeah, he went off speed, I think, right? The last pitch?
No, he threw fastball. He just missed with the fastball. Now he has to get back to the top of the order.
He's got Jason Wirth to deal with. In his 5th year with the Washington Nationals. Been an injury season for him. He had a left wrist, missed 61 games from May to late July. Came back just in time for the Nats' last visit here. Takes a strike. And he missed a few right off the beginning of the year too. 6-7 games. .93 miles an hour is a good one there. 0-2. First one missed, second one caught the corner. That's foul back, stays 0-2.
You know, the way Jason Wirth has approached and we fouled that fastball off. Unless he cheats on a fastball, he's not going to get it. He looks like if he gets a breaking ball, he'll have a better swing.
Well, he didn't have a great swing, but he found a hole there to get a base hit.
Out over the plate, he was able to just reach out and tap it through that hole.
Just a defensive posture there, but it worked for Jason Wirth. He had a hit like that against the Mets the other day in that 9th inning. That set up a controversial situation.
Now that same pitch, if it's the same velocity, if it's in, is more effective.
That was the Tuesday night game, I believe it was, when he had a base hit and it brought up Rendon. The Nats were down by a run bottom of the 9th. And Matt Williams had Anthony Bunting even on a 3-1 count, which irked a lot of Nationals followers. He wound up bunting to the first baseman, and they got Wirth out at second base. And he's been under some fire, as you might expect when there's high expectations and your team is 3 games over 500. So 2 on now for the tough Rendon, who's 0 for 2.
This is where the walk to the pitcher gets you thinking a little bit, because if Rendon doesn't hit into a double play, Jared Cozart he's going to have to deal with Bryce Harper.
Yeah. Rendon from Houston, Texas, at a Rice University. He took something off that one, off speed, and got a strike. 1-2. Hit in the air to right field. Ichiro back. Makes the catch. Gonzalez will not try to tag. Ichiro has that strong arm. Answer 2 outs. And that brings up Bryce Harper. Let's take a look at our Geico Marlins moment. This date in Marlins history, 2006, Tommy.
Cody Ross. Boy, Cody Ross, when he got hot, he would stay hot for about a week or 10 days. A 3-homer night and a 16-5 win against the Mets. And remember, he had that incredible series. I think he had 4 consecutive 3-hit games in Denver at Coors Field. So when Cody Ross got hot, he was fun to watch.
Cody Ross was fun to watch. He was fun to talk to. And he had a very productive run and wind up signing a very nice contract after leaving here. And, of course, being a hero in San Francisco. All right, big spot here for Jared Cozart with Gonzalez on second and Worth on first. And 2 down. Chopper foul. Marlins play Harper pretty much straight away and deep.
Safe to say this has been the breakout year for Bryce Harper that Nationals fans were waiting for.
4th year already, and he's only 22 in Major League Baseball.
That's what's incredible. Most home runs he'd ever hit. 22 in a season. He hit 22 back in 2012. That's a 19-year-old. A lot of injuries last year.
That pitch is over the corner. You might say the hype was ahead of his game then. It wasn't his fault. He's on the cover of Sports Illustrated. I think it was high school at the time. However, it's not anymore ahead of him. He is, as Ian Desmond said earlier this week, he's turned into quite the beast. 1-2. Oh, good pitch. Curveball struck him out. And Jared Cozart has had big strikeouts to end the 1st, 4th, and now 5th innings. And he keeps it 1-0.
exactly what happened, but I knew that he was heading straight down there. And for like a month or so after that, he would come home, sleep, maybe home for a day, and then back to work because there was cleaning up the rubble and then still working normal shifts. So it was a hectic time. I mean, I remember there was a little bucket on our porch, like our little mudroom, and that was just filled with all the stuff that he wore while he was working down there because we didn't want him in the house because we didn't know what kind of debris we'd be breathing in.
We will never forget Kohler family. That's his wife Ashley in the middle, mom there as well. And as we heard earlier, Ralph Kohler, first responder. Tom's dad, a sergeant in the NYPD. Something in common. My dad wasn't a sergeant. As a shot back to the mound, Gonzalez to first, but my dad spent 20 years in the NYPD. You know what he always enjoyed too, Tommy? He used to work the polo grounds and be on the horse during either giant football or baseball games. Come out for crowd control after. Miguel Rojas stands in, one out here in the bottom of the fifth. Marlins leading 1-0.
It looks like the 5 innings is going to be all for Jared Cozart. 90 pitches. Kyle Bearclaw warming up, and Casey McGee's in the on-deck circle.
Outstanding outing for Cozart. I'm sure he'd like to keep the pitches down just a little bit, but you have to be very impressed with the way he pitched and worked out a couple of jams. Rojas ground ball. That's a base hit under the glove of Anthony Rendon. Good job for Miguel Rojas. He's 1 for 2.
That couple of choices for Dan Jennings. Obviously, he's made the choice to send Casey McGee up there. Had he wanted to just have a sacrifice put in play, could have had Jared Cozart go up there, drop down a sacrifice bunt.
I'd imagine Cozart's feeling pretty good.
And now also, if you're Dan Jennings, you're thinking about, all right, tonight's game, tomorrow night's game, Jose Fernandez pitching. Probably not going to go beyond 5. I mean, maybe. But, so you have to think about 3 or 4 innings out of your bullpen tomorrow night.
If he does, it's going to have to be a tidy 5. And Jose returns tomorrow, looking to improve upon that record streak here at home to start a career. Rojas, a good lead, works his way back. And we'll hear from him in the postgame show tonight.
Jose Fernandez in 24 home starts is 15-0 with a 1.14 earned run average.
One to McGee. That fastball is over. McGee, looking back, did not like that call. 1-2. And he had an argument with Ron Culpa. And there's strike 3. And that pitch was out too. He missed 2 in a row.
Casey McGee is absolutely right this time, and maybe when Ron Culpa goes back to see the replay of this game, he'll find that out. But you know what? Gio Gonzalez, a veteran, got the call on the previous one. He went right back in there.
You see the framing, and the second of the missed strikes was actually a little bit further inside than the first. There's a lot of times you see a replay, you see a guy argue, and Fox Tracks will back up the umpire.
Not that time.
2 in a row. At least he was consistent, you might say. D. Gordon lashes one foul down the left field line out of play. He's 1 for 2. Average up 1 point. Harper is 0 for 2. His average is down 1 point. So it's a 6-point swing right now.
That time of year where it doesn't go up real fast, doesn't go down real fast.
Ground ball softly hit. And he goes to second wisely. Smart play by Rendon. He would not have gotten Gordon, I don't believe, but he got Rojas at second to end the 5th. So it stays 1-0 Miami. One with highlights, instant analysis, live look-ins from around the league. MLB Whip Around airs weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Kyle Bearclaw in the ball game here as we go to the 6th inning.
Boy, he has been just outstanding. The 25-year-old who came over from the Cardinal organization in the trade that sent Steve Cishek to St. Louis. Got the win, picked up the win. He has been throwing hard in his last 9 appearances. Bearclaw, 8 1/3 innings, 1 hit and no runs.
Wow. Book closed on Cozart. 5 solid innings, 4 hits, no runs. He walked 3, struck out 5. So Yudel Escobar will lead off in a 1-run game, 6th inning. High cheese, 94 miles an hour. So you look at Bearclaw, he had a 3.28 AA Springfield. Obviously, Cardinals have a lot of depth. Wanted a veteran like Cishek. He was only in the minors for a short period of time with Jacksonville, and he's come up here. And I don't know if he's surprised people, but he's been unbelievable.
I'm not sure if he's surprised, but he's certainly been impressive. 16 innings of work, just 4 hits. And I think the key for him is that we've seen him command a slider. That time he got it up a little bit.
And it just softly went over the diving arm of D. Gordon, which is not easy to do. Base hit Desmond with 1 out. Beg your pardon, that's Escobar. Nobody out. Here's Desmond. Let's go down to Jessica.
Yeah, guys, when the Marlins first acquired Kyle Bearclaw from the Cardinals, Dan Jennings was very candid and said, look, I don't know much about him. Now that he's had an opportunity to watch Bearclaw on the mound, he said that he's learned this. Kyle Bearclaw has ice water in his veins. He actually compared him to A.J. Ramos. And I talked to Bearclaw himself about what he feels like he's been able to show this team. And he said just that I have confidence when I am out there on the mound. And, guys, you talked a little bit about it. We've seen Bearclaw come into some very tough situations and deliver.
Thank you, Jess. You're right. He's been outstanding. The other night, in fact, got out of that bases loaded spot with only one out.
And that tells you something about a young pitcher. You know, that's why a lot of times, unfortunately, the way the game is now, unfortunately, you don't see young pitchers, especially starters, get that opportunity to get out of a jam. So it tells you a lot about young guys when you see them perform in that situation.
Then he struck out the side. The next inning was an inning and 2/3, 5 big outs against the Mets. Fastball misses. Bearclaw was telling me he was in Jacksonville. He got called up August 7th. The team was ready to embark on an 8-hour bus trip to Alabama. He got called into the office. He was wondering why he didn't pitch in the game, and they asked him, and they kind of teased him along. Yeah, I'm wondering why I didn't pitch. Well, that ball got away from Gore. Escobar will scamper into second base. Eventually got around to you going to the big leagues, and he had a short flight instead to Atlanta instead of that 8-hour bus trip.
I think this is going to be an error charged to Justin Bour. It looked like a catchable ball. That's a catchable ball. Should have been caught. Unfortunately, Bearclaw gets the error. Yeah, anytime, Craig, you can trade off an 8-hour bus ride to a minor league city for a short plane ride to a major league city, it's a good deal.
Dump to outside of first and foul as Bour gave it a look. Ian Desmond has a lot of pop. 17 homers this year. He has won the last 3 Silver Slugger awards for shortstops. Fastball, fly ball, well hit.
This could be interesting.
He's going to go. Here's the throw. And it's cut off. It's a long way out there. Escobar moves over to third base. So productive out for Ian Desmond, first of the inning. Whether it's a family celebration, a networking event, or a fundraiser for your organization, arrange your next group outing at Marlins Park. Ask about our all-new food and beverage options, including VIP groups, all-you-can-eat seats, and the new Clevelander Sunday brunch. Call 1-877-MARLINS or go to marlins.com/groups today. All right, Nats 90 feet away from tying it up. Ramos is 2 for 2.
Infield has come in. Let's see how Ramos has done in these situations. Wow. 20 out of 29. That's near 70%. We always tell you 50% about league average. So he's pretty good in these situations.
Nice breaking ball for Bearclaw.
This is where it's nice to have a guy on the mound who is a swing and miss guy, a strikeout guy, because you'd like to get the pop up or the strikeout here.
Forced the Nats to score with a hit. Swings at that offering. 1-2.
Now he's got a couple of choices. He can go back out there off the plate with the slider, or climb that ladder with a fastball about 96.
Where are you going?
I go slider again. The way he chased that last one. He did, and he just got a piece of it.
He just got a piece of it. So it stays 1-2. See that movement. Bearclaw's 25 years of age. Marlins got him on July 24th in the Cishek deal. That fastball is up high, 96.
Boy, the Cubs continue to play good baseball. They've got a doubleheader. Remember, they were rained out last night in Philadelphia, and they won the first game in Philly 5-1.
81 wins. Did not go after that, so he has now pushed the count to 3-2.
And in that game, Jake Arrieta won his 19th game. Arrieta's 19-6 now.
Cubs are trying to catch Pittsburgh. Pulled it within 2 games. Pirates are leading Milwaukee 3-2 in the 5th. That ball is well struck center field. Ozuna's going to have a beat on it, but it will tie up the ball game. So a sacrifice fly and a costly error.
Yeah, and the difference in that slider compared to the couple that he chased, that one floated more on the middle of the plate and gave Ramos a chance to hit a fly ball. There it is. Oh, it stays right there. And as soon as it's hit, Real Muto's reaction tells you he knows it's a sac fly. But you're right, the error set up that whole situation.
Soft base hit by Escobar, got him on base. They're staying E1, I guess, huh? I agree with you and Tommy. Michael Taylor has struck out twice.
Felipe Rivero getting loose.
Hit down the right field line, tailing toward the crowd. Ichiro a look, and did not come up with it as he banged into the wall. Oh, right on the wall.
Boy, that's dangerous when you reach out and you have that arm exposed and it hits the wall first. I know it's padded down there, but you can't tell Ichiro that right now.
He didn't even stop. He was going to catch that ball. A lot of guys will take that short little step as they get near a wall. Well, swing and a miss.
That's
So
the
Bearpaw
slider
got
he wanted to throw to Ramos.
Taylor struck out 3 times, but the Nats do tie it up with a single error and a sac fly. 1-1. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Sixth inning. Kozar did an excellent job for Miami. Gio has been solid for Washington. Marlins have 3 hits. Yelich is 0 for 2.
He hasn't allowed Yelich to get some nice extension, thinking about a ball into left center. It's tied him up a couple of times.
That just missed. Gonzalez has struck out 4 and walked 2. Both times Prado has come up. He has received a base on balls. Hit softly near the camera well. Out of play.
They're talking about that Cubs-Phillies game, the first game of doubleheader. Saw where the I think a lot of people expected this. Saw where the Phillies dismissed Ruben Amaro Jr.,
yes.
Senior Vice President, General Manager.
Hit a very good run there. 2-2 pitch. Fouled off. Phillies were playing very well second part of the All-Star break on the backside, but of late they have fallen back into that run, that awful run they had in the first half. They've won only 2 of the last 10. That's down low. Full count now on Christian Yelich. What's up in that Met game? Mets lead Atlanta 1-0 in the 4th. And the Pirates lead Milwaukee 3-2 in the bottom of the 5th.
On a Yoenis Cespedes RBI double. That's how the Mets got their run.
Tanner Roark and Jose Fernandez will be our lead story on Marlins Live tomorrow at 6:30. I asked Jose about that blue glove. He has 2 blue gloves. One has like an orange laces. The other one has black laces, but he's never used it in a game. He has been using it at a line drive.
There's that
in the
pitch
sim game.
out over
Nice
the
job.
plate, and he's able to extend. A good job by Christian Yelich. Good AB to work the count and get that pitch. By the way, did you have to get a hall pass from Conine to come up here?
Yeah, I think I did. You're going where? But he was very happy that Jessica is be able to pinch hit. So Christian Yelich aboard for Martin Prado. Let's see what the Marlins do here. 1-1 ball game. Good hitter with the bat. Tough team to steal against, as we mentioned. Yelich does have 15 steals, caught only 3 times this year.
But you do have a combination. We've seen it a few times with Martin Prado up there, who has just tremendous back control. So if Yelich takes off, he's got a good man to protect him at the plate.
That's outside.
And in closing in now on 100 at bats, Martin Prado in the number 3 spot in the batting order has hit over 350. So for whatever reason, he's felt real comfortable in this spot.
He doesn't consider himself to be the prototypical 3 guy. He's not a power guy, but boy, you feel great when he's up at the plate. Terry Collins knows that all too well from the Marlins perspective. He was in a tough spot the other night, Terry. You had Yelich, who was hot. You have Prado. Didn't have to walk Yelich, but he felt that Yelich with his speed would be less of a double play option. And Prado came through with that line drive, sacrifice fly that won the ball game. 2-0 pitch, just catches the corner.
Pretty good pitch by Gio Gonzalez, because he dropped his breaking ball, his curveball in there for a 2-0 strike. That's not what Martin Prado was looking for. Might have been a changeup.
That's down low, so good count now for Prado. 3-1. Does this count favor any kind of activity?
It favors a little movement on the bases with the count 3-1.
Yelich not going, and that pitch is outside. Gonzalez upset with himself as he walks Prado for the 3rd time of the game. And that was there A couple of those pitches were there.
Let's just say this. Casey McGee can relate. Yeah, it looked like a strike. A lot of it is the way Ramos caught it. You know, kind of took his catcher's mitt down, then he brought it up. Steve McCatty, good pitching coach with the Nationals, told me that the one thing that Gio can get a little out of sync with is if he starts opening up that front shoulder. You hear that a lot. He said he has to stay straight to the plate.
So here's Justin Bour, who's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Ron Copa's going to come out and break it up. And Gonzalez is going to get a couple of words in there. Like he said it in a most respectful manner. So here's Justin Bour. He's 1 for 2. Bour is not homered against left-handed pitching.
Here's where you also let Justin Bour swing. I mean, there's probably somebody saying,
he hit that one well. Deep right center, but Taylor's going to go out and make the catch. And then tagging up is Yelich. He really hit it well. Taylor tracked it down. Nice job by Yelich recognizing that Taylor was going to make the play to get to third with 1 out.
Good job by Justin Bour, who in his entire professional career has never dropped down a sac bunt. So that's why you let him swing. Yelich got off the bag, but then regrouped nicely to get back, tag up, and get over to third base. So good base running. Good job by Justin Bour.
And that moves the go-ahead run 90 feet from the plate with Marcell Ozuna coming in. And this is going to be it for Gio Gonzalez. Our Kendall called to the pen here with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. Marlins threatening here. Back in a moment. Remembrance Day around the country, really around the world. 1-1 game. The Marlins have made a regular trip about 5 times now. The first one they made to visit the troops was in 2008. John Baker and Chris Coughlin. And Cogs is in that protective suit, thank goodness. In our red eye vision cam.
The amazing thing about that is that Chris Coughlin had won the Rookie of the Year. So now you're the organization, you're looking at your Rookie of the Year getting mauled by a dog.
He looked like he had a lot of fun.
The dog trucked him.
That's John Baker laughing. Man Bear Wolf, I think, is his Twitter handle. He is a good follow. Ground ball, hit the short. Marlins are going to get a run. Can they get 2? They do. And that'll be the Marlins will not get the run. It was 1 out. That's the 2nd and 3rd outs. And the inning ends in that 6-4-3 double play.
I'm joined now by Dan Horwitz, who is the events coordinator for the Special Operations Warrior Foundation. And Dan, you are here with a pretty big group of kids tonight. What is it that your organization does?
The Special Operations Warrior Foundations provide full college scholarships for children of special operations personnel killed in the line of duty. So anybody in U.S. Special Operations Command, 70,000 of them at this time, if we promise them that if they don't come back, we provide a full scholarship, room, board, tuition, books, fees to any college that they are admitted to or earn entrance into.
Now, this is an organization that Mike Dunn and his wife pour a lot of their time and effort into. The kids have on shirts that have Dunn's name on the back of it. The Marlins are also a big supporter. What does it mean to you to have the support of both the Dunns and the Marlins?
It means it's more than priceless. Mike and Kim have shown their time and their effort, and they're just amazing people that help with this, putting these kids through college. Gavin, who's with us tonight, is 13, and we couldn't do it without great people like Mike and Kim, and the Marlins especially, who have helped coordinate and get this together, even with the families that are here from Special Operations Command South. It means so much to them. They get to do something that is really sometimes a once-in-a-lifetime event, and it takes them away from deployments, and it takes them away from the other hardships that everybody has. But it's just that special.
Knowing what these families have gone through, what these children have gone through, to be able to help send them to school, to be able to see their faces bringing them to a baseball game, how do you describe that?
It's hard not to get choked up about it. This is a promise I made for my service to the guys that I knew and the people that I meet every time, and it's amazing. It's just great to help them and be there with them for they can have something special.
Thank you so much for spending some time with us, guys.
All right, thank you, Jessica. Mike Dunn loosening up as Matt Dendecker stands in, pinch hitting now. So Trinan will come out after that leadoff single by Tyler Moore off of Brian Morris.
Yeah, all for Dunn, Dunn for all. It's a great program that he's been a big part of, just bringing awareness, which so many of Major League Baseball players and Marlins in particular do.
High fly ball, short left field. Easy one for Yelich, one out. That'll bring up Jason Worth. Hey, Marlins fans, from now until September 21st, every Friday, Flashback Marlins Day, brought to you by Jeep. Submit the best vintage photo of yourself by using the hashtag Flashback Marlins. We'll select the best photo featured on tonight's post-game show. So Morris gets it out. Now he has to deal with Jason Worth. You'd have to guess that the wrist injury in the season of In the Lineup, Out of Lineup has affected Worth's power. Just the 7 homers. You were mentioning not being able to get around the fastball, perhaps certain pitches inside a little trickier when you have that wrist type injury.
Yeah, and Jason Worth is 36. He's figured out the league. He's a good guess hitter, and he knows what his limitations are at this point.
And that's probably why he stayed in the leadoff spot. Unusual for a power type guy like Worth.
But he came into this game having hit leadoff the past 20 games, and he's hit over 320 during that time. So it's suited him well.
Picked his average up to near 230. Now exactly 230. There's a good fastball from Brian Morris. And Worth has taken a couple of those right down Broadway in this ball game. Two and two. Worth in his 19th professional season. Look at Rendon on deck, 12th major league season. Originally a Baltimore Orioles first-round draft pick back in '97. Count stays 2-2. Nats have left 6 on in the game, and they have 6 hits. All 10 hits in the game, singles so far. Little pop-up. D. Gordon.
I'm sure a lot of Nationals fans are surprised that Matt Williams went to his bullpen so early. Looked like Gio Gonzalez still had enough left, was in the mid-80s with the pitch count. And remember, the Nationals bullpen in that 3-game series against the Mets in 8 innings gave up 11 hits and 12 runs.
Do you think the Nat fan might be a little touchy on the
right now they are,
call to the bullpen?
Right now they are.
Everybody but the sponsor on Nationals games. There's a strike. It was a mess last year. I mean, everything Matt Williams did, and it's not his fault for the pitches, but whoever he brought in just didn't work.
8 walks too. 8 walks.
Drew Strachan was front and center in that. They had a 7-1 lead, 2 outs in the 7th against the Mets the other night. And wound up Strachan himself walked 3 after giving up the 3-run double to Cespedes. He came in when it was 7-3. He gave up 3 runs on the double, and then he walked 3 to force the tying run in. Only to have Papelbon give up a homer. I think it was Neuenhuis, and the Mets won game 2 in dramatic fashion. Rendon, tough hitter, takes a strike. Off speed, 1-2. He is 0 for 3 in the game. Tyler Moore is on first base. Leadoff base hit. That misses, evening up the count.
And again, this is so important for Brian Morris to get Rendon and have Harper lead off the next inning.
Up the middle, that's going to be a base hit. Moore to second. He will stop there, and Brian Morris or Mike Dunn. Let's see what Dan Jennings is going to do. Harper's going to come up either way with 2 on.
Didn't hit that all that sharply off the end of the bat a little bit, but right back up the middle. Brian Morris is not going to get the opportunity to face Harper. It'll be Mike Dunn.
So Brian Morris was trying to get out of the inning. They did not hit him hard, but we go to our Kendall call to the bullpen as lefty Mike Dunn enters with first and second and 2 outs.
And a lot of it started with Jared Cozart, his second start since coming off the DL. Did the ball extremely well in his 5 innings. Did not give up a run and had some nice defense played behind him as well. In the 4th inning, the Marlins were able to pick up a run, give Cozart a lead on that fielder's choice. An RBI going to Marcell Ozuna. But an error contributed to a runner getting over to third base. And just like that, Wilson Ramos hit a sac fly to center field, and the Nats tied it. That's how we stand right now. 1-1 with Mike Dunn coming on to face Bryce Harper.
Harper hitting .319 against left-handers this year in a key spot with first and second and 2 outs. Moore is not particularly fast at second, but the outfield is so deep, it would be tough to throw him out unless the outfielders are really coming in on the base hit.
6 of Harper's 36 home runs against left-handers.
Dunn making his 64th appearance of the year. That one's fouled back. Harper 2 for 16 with a homer against Mike Dunn.
So overall against lefties all right, but he's had his struggles against Mike Dunn.
Dunn's allowed just 3 hits last 9 games against Washington, covering 6 scoreless. Moore and Rendon are the base runners here. Good fastball. Dunn is now 22 appearances shy of Brayton Looper, all-time record, most games by a pitcher for the Marlins. 368 for Looper. He's up to 346. Mike Dunn has been a...
That's the one thing about Mike Dunn. Yep. He's always been durable.
Healthy.
Not going to spend time on the disabled list.
Gives you 75-plus games a year. One and 2. That fastball is high and away. You like to get him here, but you don't want to go 3-2 and give the runners a head start. Struck him out! Mike Dunn with a big strikeout, and Harper has struck out 3 consecutive times, leaving 2 men on base for the second time in the ball game. Nice pitching. On 9/11, we go to this announcement and the anthem, God Bless America. There's Officer Guzman again.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with
show my appreciation to all the firefighters and servicemen and women out there that help keep our nation safe.
On this 9/11, we welcome you back. Good ball game here at Marlins Park. Been a good homestand, Tommy. Marlins playing very well. Started that off in Atlanta and carried in good baseball games. And we've got another one here tonight, bottom of the 7th. Casey Janssen is in for Washington to face JT Realmuto, who struck out his 2 times up. See Janssen's numbers on the year, 1-4, the veteran. 33-year-old right-hander.
Yeah, you think about it, the 2 games that the Marlins lost on this homestand were relatively blowouts. They got beaten 7-0, that complete game by Bartolo Colon, and then the 9-1 loss to Milwaukee. But the other games they've been in, they've played well, and those other games they've won.
Brian Ellington loosening up. Pitcher due up in the number 4 spot in this inning.
So that hitting streak for JT, he's gotten some big hits. Trying to extend it to 8 in a row. 2-homer game the other night. 1 out of the park and 1 in the park.
You wonder if they do, Tommy, bring the fence in, and that's a big issue for the offseason, if they'll still have that circular spot, or will that be affected, the spot where it hit. I think it's an exciting part of the ballpark, but it might.
It would be if it were closer.
Yeah. That's ripped down the line. It's a fair ball for Realmuto. JT circling first, looking in the corner, and he's going to stop at second with a leadoff double off Casey Janssen.
And he does extend that hitting streak. Realmuto now with 18 doubles to go along with 6 triples and 9 home runs. Boy, he jumps on a high fastball, turns on it. That pitch came in, and a good way to start things in the 7th inning.
And we'll see how the Marlins play here with Ichiro coming up.
I don't think you can have a better guy at the plate than Ichiro. With JT at second, nobody out. You know what Ichiro's job is, and you know he knows it too.
Double number 18 for Realmuto. A ground ball will do the job to the right side. He's going to bunt, squares, and it's a strike.
Say the home plate umpire Ron Kulpas had a lot of hitters shaking their heads tonight. That one didn't appear to catch the bottom part of the zone, though.
Do you care bunt or swing ground ball?
Either way. Either way. And a lot of managers will do that. They'll tell the hitter, whatever you feel best, whatever you're most comfortable with.
Bunts it in the air, but it's going to drop. He's going to go to third. That is not a force.
Not a forced play. His thought, I'm sure Janssen thought, because the ball was popped in the air. This is great base running by Realmuto. Because the ball was popped in the air, he's thinking the runner has to hold. He's not going to get that kind of jump. He throws to third. I don't know if he thought it was a force. I don't know if Escobar thought it was a force. Either way, the Nationals did not get this play done. Ichiro gets the bunt down, and he's at first base.
Well, Escobar never tried to tag him, so he was clueless on this play. And JT Realmuto, Tommy, you're right. He got a great jump considering the ball was in the air. He had a good look at it. But Escobar never swung his glove as if to make a tag because it's not a force play.
So it's a sacrifice and a fielder's choice.
Wow. In a week where everything has gone wrong for the Nats, that's another one. They hope they're not replaying on their late local news tonight in D.C. So now that first and third situation with Miguel Rojas 1 for 2. Infield is middle, up the middle, halfway.
The Nationals getting a left-hander ready. Should Derek Dietrich, who's on deck, if he comes up to pinch hit. like Felipe Rivero again. Saw him up earlier.
0-2 count. Ichiro with a pretty good lead at first. They're in at the corners. Softly in right field, coming on, sliding, catching, tagging is Romuto. Cross the line, JT scores. Sacrifice fly for Miguel Rojas, behind the count. Nice job.
Boy, you talk about getting a run with some speed, and you can thank JT Realmuto and his young legs. Going from second to third on the bunt by Ichiro, and then going back to tag up. Even though Harper is shallow, he dives for it. Realmuto saying, you know what? He's got to come up and throw. He's got to get to his feet. So he goes back to tag up. He looks at the play, never hesitates. Great job.
I think Harper was surprised that JT Realmuto, the catcher, ran in that spot as he was diving in to make a good solid catch, but not throw. 2-1 Miami. Pitching change. In the 7th inning, still only 1 out, still a runner on. As we look at our Coors Cold Hard Fact. Tonight's Cold Hard Fact brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. There's the numbers. July 1st, they were 8 over, 3.5 up. Since then, 5 under, and now a swing of 11 games. Plus 3.5, minus 7.5. The elimination number is 16. Felipe Rivero is in. Derek Dietrich is up.
The Nationals come into play tonight just 3 games over 500. So Rivero in to pitch to the lefty pinch hitter Derek Dietrich. Got the feeling Ichiro's sizing him up and see if he can get any kind of a jump.
Do you think Harper was surprised at all that JT went?
Somewhat.
Short right field.
It's not an easy play to make that diving. You saw the ball almost came out of his glove. A little bit of a snow cone.
Yeah.
And then he has to regroup, get up, set, and make an accurate throw. He got something on the throw, but it wasn't accurate.
Quick throw to first. Ichiro gets back.
Usually a guy that has that real good snap throw doesn't have a good move with the leg coming up, just basic. You don't have both of them.
Why not?
You don't have both of them.
Ichiro 11 steals, caught 5 times this year. Ground ball to shortstop. Desmond for 1, first base. Got him. Dietrich turned around. Marlins are going to look at it, and Perry Hill wants them to look at it. Back of the glove.
might be a better look.
I think they got him.
Yeah, it's close.
Or not enough.
That's one of those. I don't know if there's enough to overturn it.
Out is the call from Marlins bench. Fish do get a run though, and take a 2-1 lead as we go to the 8th. Tomorrow night, Jose Fernandez returning to the mound. 7 o'clock, all you can eat. Saturday night as well. $35 all you can eat tickets. And Jose's return, he said, in fact, Rich and Tommy were talking the other day saying 3 starts, and he quickly said, no, I think I got 4 starts left in me.
He's got it figured out. I know he's looked at he's looked at the schedule. He knows. And all right. We certainly hope all goes well. Absolutely. And we see him for those 4.
It's going to be fun to watch him as Brian Ellington comes in. He's had 2 games against the Nats, 2 1/3 in his young career, and no runs. Began the year at Jacksonville. He was 4-1 with a 2.5 ERA there in 25 games. And just a week ago earned his first major league win. So tough task here for the Marlins pen. Try and get through these final 3. They got through the 7th. And now it's Ellington, and ideally for Dan Jennings, Ramos in the 9th.
Ellington has been a nice find for a 16th round pick. Good arm out of University of West Florida. Had Tommy John surgery his senior year of high school. But a good live arm, and just 25 years old.
Falls behind 2-0 to Escobar with Ian Desmond on deck. You got Escobar, 9 homers, and Desmond and Ramos have combined for 30 this year. Ground ball to shortstop. There's the soft hands of Miguel Rojas. Fans pick up the Pepsi 4 for $74 pack via Marlins Park for Sunday Fun Day. That's this Sunday, the 13th, when the Fish take on the Nationals at 1:10. First 10,000 fans will get a Jose Fernandez figurine courtesy of Preferred Care Partners. Plus, all kids can run the bases in Diamond Dash after the game. Go to Marlins.com tonight.
So it's kind of a nice Jose Fernandez weekend.
Yes. Big swing and a miss for Ian Desmond, 0 for 3 in the game. Number 20. Desmond was number 6. He switched in 2012. The pitch is outside. To honor is the former manager, the Hall of Famer Frank Robinson.
Desmond's had kind of an interesting year, and you have to think some of the contract situation affected him. got off to a slow start offensively. First half of the year, he made 23 errors. He's made 3 since the All-Star break, and his hitting has been better. But always a lot of strikeouts. He struck out 161 times this year. Only Chris Bryant of the Cubs, the rookie, and Chris Davis of the Orioles struck out more.
Baseball 2015. Would you say the strikeouts, it's probably close to doubled? It probably is close to that. Although you don't see guys pitching like Nolan Ryan with 380 strikeouts in a year. They're spread out more because of the innings.
Well, that's because guys don't have 35, 40 starts. Yeah, throw
right.
that many innings.
Yeah. But the overall numbers, it's amazing. 2-2. That pitch off speed as you see, but up high, so full count.
That's a give and take. Chris Davis, the Orioles, 41 home runs, 104 RBIs.
You live with it more there.
Yeah.
Payoff pitch. Foul back. '15th game for Ryan Ellington. Just a .220 average against him. 13 hits, 16 1/3 now. High pop up in the infield, bore in foul ground. And 2 men away, so he get good out on a 3-2 pitch there. And Wilson Ramos had a good game. He's 2 for 2 and a sac fly, driving in the only Nationals run.
Well, a good job by Brian Ellington to come in, get the first 2 batters. Ramos does have home run power, has 13.
Oh. 98-mile-an-hour painted fastball for strike 1.
It's one thing to paint, but when you paint with 98, it's something else.
That would impress Bob Ross. The late Bob Ross. Remember him, the painter on television? But Tommy, he was the guy with the beard, big heavy beard.
I would always
flipping around.
If I was flipping around, I usually pass that.
A little bit of blue.
I would flip by that one. There's another guy who can paint with some heat, Carter Capps.
One pitch outside, so he goes to 2-1. Michael Taylor's got some power. Struck out 3 times tonight. He's on deck. Marlins would like to face him in the 9th inning. And a ball hit out to right field. Well hit, but Ichiro near the track. And he tracks it down. So nice 1-2-3 inning for Brian Ellington. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Fish by 1. 2009, 2016 Mitsubishi Outlander. And by the Dollar Shave Club. Shave time, shave money. Let's see, Bayside there. With the Marlins leading the Nats 2-1 in a good ball game. Nats have left 8 men on base. Marlins left 4. Bottom 3 for the Nats next inning. If you're looking ahead, 7, 8, 9 in the order. Marlins top of the order. D. Gordon, sharp ground to shortstop, backed up Desmond. He's got a big arm though. 1 away.
Well, that's one of the reasons Matt Williams left the left-hander in there. Rivero with 2 lefties. D. Gordon, Christian Yelich coming up. Then after Prado, Justin Bour.
Didn't see any action, so I think Prado's going to see the lefty. They're starting to stir a little bit. Fastball 96 over the inside corner as A.J. Ramos starts loosening up. He'll get a shot, it appears. Ramos has 25 saves. Ground ball again, shortstop, high bouncing to Desmond for the second out here in the 8th inning. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 13 years. Watch out every one of the market regular season games live or on demand in true HD, real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, and more. MLB.TV Premium includes a free at-bat 15 subscription. Watch live baseball on over 400 mobile and connected devices. Watch at home, in the office, or on the go every night on every device. Visit MLB.TV for details. Martin Prado 0-1. Rivero's done a nice job in an inning and a third. And it's now 1-1. He got the double play. Nats relievers have gotten a couple big double plays. Trinan got his and his only batter with a couple aboard in the 6th. And it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Rivero here with all the plays from Desmond over to Moore. We'll go to the 9th. Marlins hanging on to a 1-run lead. Kubota. For more information or to find a participating dealer, go to FloridaKubotaDealers.com. We have moved along to the 9th inning here on this very special day to remember. September the 11th, 2015. Fans patriotic with their flags. Marlins wore various hats before the game, representing law enforcement, the military, and you see the flags on the hats. The Major League players tonight as A.J. Ramos comes in, looking for his 26th save here.
You know, you look at the overall numbers, but you know, I like to condense things. And He's had some bumps at times, but if you go back to AJ's last 8 games, 4 saves, earned run average a little over 1, and in 8 1/3 innings, he's given up just 1 run.
Nice. He's walked a few more in the span where he struggled than he did earlier in the year. But still, the body of work is very good. 75 strikeouts, 62 innings, walked 24. That's better than it's been in past years. But he was crisper in the first half of the season. Taylor has struck out 3 times, has power. Off speed, down low, 1-1.
Yeah, Taylor, not too long ago, hit one of the longest home runs at Coors Field this year. Crushed one. So yes, he does have power.
He's 6'3", 210. Went to Westminster Academy. There's a good pitch. Fastball, but a good spot for AJ.
I think some are surprised when they see AJ at under 6 feet throwing 96 miles an hour.
He's sweating already. 1-2 pitch. Line to right field. Ichiro's going back. He's going to have it at the warning track. Big first out in a 1-run ball game. Marlins Live is coming up after the game. Jessica Blaylock and Niner. We're going to look at Bryce's struggles. He had some big opportunities tonight. Struck out 3 times along with a walk. There's Jessica. No Niner yet.
Boy, anytime
wow.
you can hold. Yeah, where is he? He's usually on time when you're there.
Yeah.
If you can hold Harper, hold him down, you're going to have success against this lineup.
Did not put the ball in play. Here's Tyler Moore.
An old friend steps into the on-deck circle, Dan Ugla.
Oh. In case you're just tuning in or didn't catch this, Ryan Zimmerman, unfortunately for Nationals fans, but not for the Mets, continues to be bothered by a left oblique. That is over the inside corner for a strike. So he's out. He had the foot problem, the plantar fasciitis, that struggled and cost him miss a good chunk of the season. But that oblique popped up on Monday. The injury's out, may miss the rest of the season. And with Clint Robinson on paternity leave, it's Tyler Moore as the option at first base. Worth hoping for a shot. He's slotted 4th in the inning. Got him in the off speed, 2-2. There's our old friend Dan Ugla. Struck him out. Looked like the change. And Ramos strikes out Moore, and the Nats are down to their last out.
That's what's always so fun to watch A.J. Ramos. The change-up grip, turns it over a little bit, dives out of the zone, and gets Moore swinging. He can get strikeouts with all kinds of pitches.
When the season started, Dan Ugla was in the Marlin record books, tied with Giancarlo Stanton for the most home runs ever as a Marlin at 154. Of course, Stanton's 27, plowed by Danny, but you know the kind of power he has, and he has already greeted in this ballpark the beautiful sculpture in deep center field. 1-0 count. Ugla in an off the bench role mostly. Had a chance to start with some injuries early in the year. Now 2-0, hitting under 200. He had a monster game in late April with a homer and 5 ribbies against his former team, the Atlanta Braves, in a Nats win, counting for his only home run of the year. That one is fouled near Prado at third.
you know, with various injuries. When we saw Dan Uggla in spring training with the Nationals, obviously we're all hoping he'd make that ball club, but I think we're all surprised he's been with the club all year, but that's mainly because of the injuries they've had.
That pitch is over the inside corner, 2-2. Uggla got a World Series ring from the Giants on August 14th. Spent only 2 weeks there. He said, I didn't really deserve it, but they can't take it away from me. Trying to keep it alive for Washington. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Fouled it off. Never an easy position, Tommy, to come off the bench when you haven't done a lot of ABs, but that is the role for Dan Uggla.
Yeah, we got Sergeant Kohler up and rooting. We're in good hands.
2-2 pitch. Oh! Misses to run the count full. What does AJ go with here?
That's the one thing about AJ, you're not sure because he has so many weapons.
Went down low, and Dan Uggla works the walk for Washington. That brings up Jason Worth. He went out of the strike zone, not by much.
Pretty good AB for Uggla to take that pitch. He's going to be lifted for a pinch runner, Trey Turner, who can fly. So be careful. I think that's what the conversation at the mound is about.
Trey Turner in the last 2 years in the minors had 52 stolen bases, caught only 10 times.
Local kid out of Park Vista High School up in Lake Worth. Born in Lake Worth.
With Worth up. Potential tying run at first. Worth is 1 for 3 with a walk. Nice pitch for a strike for Ramos. Turner's only been in 11 games, does not have a caught stealing. He does have 1 stolen base.
Yeah, he had that one start in one of the games in Washington, D.C.
Certainly would be a gamble, but if the numbers look right on the stopwatch, you never know. 0-1 pitch. Well hit by Worth, left field, but Yelich is there. Yelich is under it. Yelich makes the catch, and the Marlins win Game 1, their 8th victory in 10 games as they beat the Nats, further dampening any hope the Nationals have of a big comeback in September. Mets are leading their ball game in Atlanta. Outstanding job by the Marlins bullpen, backing up a good effort for Jared Kozar tonight, Tommy.
Yeah, Kozar was tremendous in 5 innings. The only run the Nationals got was an unearned run in the 6th inning off Kyle Bearclaw. Then Morris, Dunn, Ellington, and Ramos did the rest. Terrific job tonight.
Our Warren Henry drive of the game. A big double, leadoff double in the 7th inning off Casey Jansen by JT Realmuto.
Not only good swinging, but JT completed the whole process, running the bases expertly. Went to third on a fly ball and then scored on the sac fly, the shallow sac fly to right field.
You're right. He really created that run with some gutsy running. And I think he surprised the Nats on a couple of occasions, scampering around. So the Marlins win 2-1. Nice job. They left 4 on base. Dunn gets the win. Ramos saved number 26 in 2 hours, 43 minutes. Interviews and a whole lot more coming up. Marlins Live in a moment.